He tweeted a letter that he sent to the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Pompeo claims the subpoenas and depositions are, quote, an attempt to intimidate, bully, and treat improperly the distinguished professionals of the Department of State. He went on to say that the committee's requested dates for the depositions are not feasible and officials will not show up. CBS News can confirm Pompeo was among those to listen in on the president's July phone conversation with Ukrainian President.
An article in The Hill mentions Biden's speech today. Biden said, "Let me make something clear to Trump and his hatchet men and the special interests funding his attacks against me. I'm not going anywhere." Biden, a front runner in the 2020 Democratic primary, told a crowd in Reno, Nevada. "You're not going to destroy me. And you're not going to destroy my family. I don't care how much money you spend or how dirty the attacks get." The comments marked a forceful pushback against Trump's claims that Biden abused his power when he was vice president by lobbying Ukraine to dismiss a prosecutor who was investigating a natural gas company on whose board his son, Hunter, sat. Biden has said he wanted the prosecutor fired for insufficient efforts to tackle corruption, and no evidence has emerged to suggest he acted to benefit his son, reports The Hill. What? No evidence? How about the $50,000 a month payment for doing nothing or knowing nothing from one of the most corrupt companies in one of the most corrupt countries at that time? Watch this video where Biden brags about getting the prosecutor fired by threatening the minister to withhold humanitarian aid, which was signed up by the then President Obama and American electives.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion." They said, "You have no authority. You're not the president." The president said. I said, "Call him." I said, "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion." I said, "You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here." And I think it was, what, 6 hours? I looked, I said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money." Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Who profits from this as far as Democratic presidential candidates go? At first, I thought it would have been Joe Biden, because now he's elevated. He's the villain, the hero that the villain is opposing and elevating in this matter. But you know what? The more I read about this, no, I don't think he was doing something terrible in Ukraine, but it's just so, why can't politicians tell their fucking kids, get a job?
It's too swampy.
Get a goddamn job. I mean, this kid was paid $600,000 because his name is Biden by a gas company in Ukraine, this super corrupt country that just had a revolution to get rid of corruption. It just looks bad.
The presumption of innocence is the legal principle that one is considered innocent unless proven guilty. It was traditionally expressed by the Latin maxim, "The burden of proof is on the one who declares, not on one who denies." In many states, presumption of innocence is a legal right of the accused in a criminal trial, and it is an international human right under the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 11. Under the presumption of innocence, the legal burden of proof is thus on the prosecution, which must present compelling evidence to the trier of fact, a judge or a jury. The prosecution must in most cases prove that the accused is guilty beyond reasonable doubt. If reasonable doubt remains, the accused must be acquitted. Under the Justinian codes and English common law, in criminal proceedings the accused is presumed innocent unless the prosecution presents a high level of evidence as described above. In civil proceedings, Like breach of contract, the defendant is initially presumed correct unless the plaintiff presents a moderate level of evidence and thus switches the burden of proof to the defendant.
In that call, Mr. Trump said that Ukraine should investigate his potential 2020 Democratic opponent, Joe Biden. House Democrats have requested Pompeo turn over documents related to that call no later than October 4th. House Democrats have also subpoenaed the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, for documents related to that call with Ukraine. Giuliani's mentioned more than 30 times in the whistleblower complaint at the center of the House's impeachment inquiry. On Fox last night, Giuliani did not comment when asked if he'd comply with the subpoena.
Oh, I don't know. I'm weighing the alternatives. I'll kind of like go through it. I'll get all my evidence together. I'll get my charts. I don't know if they let me use videotapes and tape recordings that I have. If they let me get some of the evidence that I gathered.
Well, Mr. Trump is also facing questions about his contacts with another foreign leader. The president asked Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison to help Attorney General William Barr in investigating the origins of Robert Mueller's Russia probe. Barr apparently asked President Trump to make the call to Morrison. The Attorney General has said that he wants to review whether the Mueller investigation was politically motivated. Meanwhile, President Trump has remained defiant on Twitter. He went after House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff. He's leading the House's impeachment inquiry. He claimed Schiff should be charged for making a fraudulent statement about him.